on that individual level. The coaching's been solid. Star Dragon is someone who's been pretty vocal about there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah.
Coming out of that mainland China region and getting to see another one of their representatives here in 8-0. Shame they've already bowed out of the competition, but Toxic Lotus now have to basically carry the expectations of that entire region alone.
Putting that on everyone's radar may have been a mistake. Not that it's Star Dragon's fault. Is it their fault for winning and showing everyone that they have the skills that they deserve to be respected? It was pretty quickly adapted to in the subsequent months, led to them not making it all the way to the World Finals.
Yeah, losing out in LCQ was heartbreaking for this team, right? It's kind of not what we expected after Toxic Lotus had such a strong finish at Brawl Cup, but I mean, Crazy Raccoon almost didn't make it out of LCQ either. It is really brutal. That was that rival esports team that gatekept Toxic Lotus.
Yeah.
It's a new year though, same team, same expectations here at Brawl Cup from their fans.
Looking at the bans here as we get started on Ring of Fire, you see the anti-cheese strats from Foot. They are just not interested in facing any of this stuff with Draco or Gray can enable pretty much being overwhelmed by HP pool alone. Crow as a first selection, I think, is basically the best thing that you can go at this stage. The response from Toxic Lotus into something that they knowingly left open. Look at also the respect. Mina ban. They witnessed Angelboy on that Mina earlier, and they said,
mechanics.
no thank you. Yeah, well, we've been talking about it since the beginning of the year. He's just a legend, and I think it's completely worthy of a target ban.
Some sharpshooters are sort of still open here. Pierce obviously being global banned though, renders that a non-option.
Meet Rob.
Ooh.
Meg.
Ooh.
This is a throwback. Okay, obviously, so Meg pretty effective at covering, you know, a lot of space in the middle of the map. She could be quite good against Finks, even if Finks is sort of banned out because her fire, like, covers a wide arc. And yeah, the B gonna get picked up. This, for me, feels like a little earlier in the year. B was quite oppressive on this map. Rattled Hive's still quite powerful. And she's still a great sharpshooter.
Yes, we used to talk about B here a lot, but I think she's just been basically outdone by other snipers. But as you can see, Pierce has been taken out of this. Yeah. So what is your high DPS to deal with this B? Are you going to out-sniper, or are you somehow going to circumvent her? Well, hey, guess what? You can't alley here. Are you going to Mortis? Is that how you're going to get the backline? So not really ideal into that Meg. It's going to blow right up in your face, literally. That is how you approach the Mortis. Penny's going to be here for control. No wall break just yet, so not really something that can be boasted here. And I can't really think of a wall break brawler that would be too phenomenal for the final selection.
Probably just Griff, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like how he fares into these matchups versus either Crow or Penny.
Yeah.
It would be bad if they were forced to go that direction.
I wonder if there's like thoughts to try and fold a tank in here somewhere, right? Yeah. Colette's been banned out, but Kenji is an option here. Okay, Chester, just really potent, obviously amazing in his own right at dealing with those tanks himself. And with the hypercharged super, that will clear the point sort of 9 times out of 10. Just don't want to roll too often into the top rocks, otherwise it can be a little bit more difficult to assert yourself.
I see 2 anti-tanks. I see a mid that's a sharpshooter, yes, but you really just play her for the turret. Maybe also the potential to, like, pierce through any spawnables. At this point, they could honestly go another sharpshooter for Toxic Lotus. They're going to play for control. Control is always going to be anti-tank. You know, there's sort of like a triangle, sometimes a square if you want to look at it, like what counters what. You play control into tank counters. I like this so far. I think Meg is going to have a rough time. She's not going to be able to juke the Chester shots. It's not really something that you do, but she will have some pretty good survival. You have the long-range enforcement from B, where if she's not contested by another, like, real sharpshooter, I wouldn't consider Penny to be a fair matchup for her. Then she can pretty much sit around and auto-aim for the majority of it. Pretty easy brawler to play, and if you're in a losing position at the moment, you're down 1 set, you want something that's consistent, not a bad direction to go.
Meg does offer you pretty good staying power though, as you functionally have 2 lives. Getting knocked out of the mech means you can continue to stay on the point and accrue that capture percentage. Then a little bit short-ranged here into that B matchup, so Angelboy looking to assist. Red Chester, of course, was at large, so you've got to respect it. Engine is going to give a bit of ground here on this left side, but that squeak is always going to be a pain for Angelboy.
I guess OU feels like he has to contest Knob here on the right side so that Tot doesn't get pushed too hard, but a lot of times he would run Meg up mid and just utilize the HP. It's going to be more difficult into Lena on this Crow. as he gets pushed back. OU going for the matchup on the Knob. Knew not to waste his ammo on
clean.
that turret. Knob survives, but only for a moment longer. He's just here as a distraction so that Lenot can push up in mid, and it works. Knob strays right into those shots from OU. Now it is finally time for Toxic Lotus to get on this point. They desperately need to do it, but Lenot is just so quick. He's outrunning every single one of these bees.
Yeah, fantastic dodge work here, of course. If you're a consummate tank player, you definitely know how to use your mechanics to avoid these shots that come in. Angelboy is a problem. He just dove deep onto the B, and now there's no room to get the B set up on that angle. OU here, able to survive, finds a super sweep, but Knob simply steps up where the Crow left off.
Angelboy deep in the enemy bushes. This one's just unwinnable for Toxic Lotus at this point. They are outgunned. OU expiring on the point as Foot Esports sit in the zone and fire at their logo. Another game for Foot as they outplay systematically Toxic Lotus and perhaps an outdraft. I think Pro is just too quick for B to run at this rate. There is potential, of course. You still have to execute on this. On the Brawler head-to-head, this is often the discussion.
High base move speed and access to flat damage reduction off that shield. Crow is a real problem, even for high burst damage brawlers. In fact, that's where that shield is its best. Okay. I kind of get it. You don't want to run out of spawn?
Yeah.
We have a tech issue on stage for those that are wondering right now, so that's why our players are sat still. So we're going to see this round get rolled back, I imagine. There's the game admin up there right now just trying to make sure everyone's devices are appropriately plugged in. Now, what we saw in that previous round, I think I want to address, because you think the B in general can do a fair bit of work at long range, so you outrange every brawler on the Foot side of things, but able just to walk up, as the Chester. We saw them just dive in, get aggressive with a more of a mid-range brawler. We're just rehosting the lobby right now. Here's what's going on. I'm sure Knob is feverishly opening star drops, I assume.
Or maybe just like smearing any grease off of the tablet that has accumulated over the course of the day, as they have undoubtedly been using every single second to prepare for this moment. You gotta slot a new player into your roster. They took Tribe all the way to the final set. You would expect that at least they can take down Toxic Lotus, a team that has struggled in their home region versus a team that already folded on day one.
There's a challenge here because we are one game in to this set. So when you rehost the lobby, we can't necessarily roll back to a 1-0 scenario. Basically, it means that Foot just had to win one more round. I think we cut the game off there, would be my expectation. There was a player on Toxic Lotus who was unable to move out of spawn at all. So we've been resolving that. It looks like, from what I can tell, our players are just redrafting now, so we shouldn't be too far away from running this back.
For those not in the know, in the industry, we consider that a big issue when someone's not able to move out of spawn.
Yeah. I made a joke about it, obviously. I can see why they wouldn't want to play too much when they feel like they've been out-comped, but
yes.
You can have faith in Toxic Lotus. They have had more international opportunities than the rest of their region. And also, you get a decent amount of land experience playing out in China. Your qualification process for events like this is usually much harder. It's like a road to Brawl Cup-esque process. But there are quite a lot of lands at the end of these qualifiers in mainland China. They always make sure the players have a chance to turn up in person to compete for those international spots. That's the same, obviously, for what we've seen from them in the last couple of years. So that's kind of why Toxic Lotus came to LAN, and sure, while they had jitters, like everyone else did, were able to find a lot of success at Brawl Cup. They knocked out Tribe. Loud, I think, also fell to them. Some big names notched into their belt. But since then, they've not really been able to reassert themselves. We felt for a while that mainland China was coming. The global, I guess the complexion of Brawl Stars was about to change forever. That's still up for grabs. It's still a possibility. Here we go, folks. 1-0 in the set. One round in favor of Foot Esports.
Already the adjustments from Toxic Lotus, they put priority on getting this residue at mid to halt Linna's progress into mid. Oh, looks like they've gone idle once again. No loo required sometimes to get your opponents to freeze, but we're going to get that resolved.
I've been just confirming, though, that was not, in fact, live. We'll be live very shortly, folks, is what I'm hearing. Should be simple. I think they, jumping back into the draft very quickly. Could also be an issue of you know, needing to give the win to Foot to properly simulate the 1-0 lead, right? Because we restarted the lobby. Technically, it was at 0-0. So Foot, we need to like give them the first round, get that out of the way, and then we can jump in with the rest of the series. So hang tight with us, folks. We're just getting the game state back to where it was before our tech issues crept in.
Might be a pause, but the Foot crowd is still here to represent. They may have fallen just a moment ago to Tribe, but people have turned out in droves. They turned out to see Guesti in a large way. You know, his teammates, of course, Angelboy and Nob. However, Lana in that place. Lana is similarly celebrated player in EMEA. So I'm looking forward to see whether he can make a splash on day 3. They're just gonna have to make it there first. He's been tearing it up on mid. We'll see if he's just as evasive as earlier when it comes to dodging these bees.
This one is for real, folks. Already a residue once again deployed on the point early. Rattled Hive thrown out for some zone control. Lana getting some damage on OU there. Barely going to be able to walk away. And actually desuited there. That is huge. OU out of mech now. Really not able to make as much of an impact. Not fighting 1 versus 2. Eventually he's going to be brought down, and OU actually gets back in the mech.
Whoa, that's pretty serious on Lana. Talk needs to find that final shot. They can't get the takedown on Lana. Rotates back towards mid, threatening a press up on the left side where O is continuing to march forward. Now turret in position. This is going to be a high priority for Meg. Yeah, go ahead and use the super there. A couple of blaster shots, but look at the aggression from Foot as they hammer down these 2 brawlers. It's a full team wipe for Foot.
I mean, Nob into Tuff was such a sick matchup. And yeah, this is where Angelboy wants to be. He was here in the previous round. Engine, though, this time's going to stop by and clear him out. They don't know where Lana is, necessarily. He's about to walk up on Engine and ruin his day. Dive in the direction of Tok here. It's about shutting down the B, making it impossible for Tok to get control.
Previously, it was 50% to nothing, and now it's a tied up brawl game. OU, however, has a hypercharge. Going to push in versus Nob. Blocks off some of that with a salty barrel and just barely escapes the range of OU. Now hypercharge in from Angelboy. It's going to be lots of bush break. Disrupting the stronghold for OU. Cycles it forward, but can't hit Tok.
Yeah, this could be bad over now. Hypercharge turret for Nob is in play, and Toxic Lotus don't really have any way to clear that out. That is a lot of incendiary fields to cross. A lot of damage raining in autonomously. And Foot Esports look like they can easily do a round in here. This is Toxic Lotus's last chance to make a play here on Ring of Fire.
Lana just got that super, now using it hypercharge style to get more damage on Tok. It's an elimination at mid, and Foot Esports count up to 100. A brief pause put on this steamroll through, but they've still gotten a couple sets under their belt.
That Crow movement speed is so hard to deal with. If you're a B, so many of those shots are dodged away from. Lana, though, spent most of that last round playing side lane against the mech, just putting some damage down, really trying to limit mech's effectiveness. Don't let her run up on you. And so Nob is actually put in a matchup against the B. Now, your Penny, outside of having the salty barrel edge, which is nice to tank some shots, you don't really feel favored in that matchup. Nob straight up just beat the brakes off the B in a 1 versus 1. And that elimination allows Lana to play deep inside the Toxic Lotus bush and just pressure Tok every time they come off spawn. There was no chance. Look, like just like this, Angelboy and Lana just both diving on the B every time she tried to come off spawn.
It's just pretty rough, but B here a lot of times can be a great selection. You know, you're playing into no enemy snipers. You just have to hit those shots. So the deal is, though, that compared to other sniper shots are quite slow. Lana, he's on Crow, tied for the fastest speed in the entire game. You're able to juke these out. You're able to play well. Look, as a tank player, just kind of comes with the territory that when you're playing a brawler that has to fight and weave and bob and dodge its way into range, yes, you're going to be able to juke out those B shots. Though, had to hand it to Tok, he did get the most kills on the team, but it pales in comparison to what Foot were able to muster.
Yeah, I mean, the start in the second round of Ring of Fire was pretty good, right? Saw a nice Iron Hive, got a multi-slow. You know, the Crow almost got caught out, but that is history. It's all about this third set now. And the last chance for Toxic Lotus to assert themselves for their first time on stage. And they're starting to sweat because Foot Esports are giving them absolute hell. They're looking down the line and seeing Tribe Gaming wait in the wings.
That's right. They'd have to do it for a second time. Managed to do it at Brawl Cup last year. It was a complete upset. It put Toxic Lotus on the map globally. Put mainland China on the map in terms of the regional rankings. Another Crow first selection here. It looks like Toxic Lotus aren't too intimidated by it, instead prioritizing some other brawlers, Edgar being one of them. Mortis, another one. I guess they feared the Mortis first selection from Foot. And we've seen it actually throughout the weekend, prioritization of the Mortis, but still, there is a reason that you see Crow basically permabanned. He is really that good.
Where's the Mina ban is my question as well.
Yeah.
That is wide open and pretty reasonable on this map. Chester picked up, of course, as a very serviceable anti-tank option, but with Mortis and Edgar both being targeted alongside Colette, this has left Foot Esports open to bring in a lot of really powerful brawlers. We haven't seen Lily much lately. She still conditionally can work on a lot of these gem grab maps. Naja was open and can be taken, but there are so many strong options. Rosa, Nita, if you're concerned about other tanks. Yeah, the world is, I think, your oyster. Stu also, you can sort of bring that one in here. Start to pressure the Naja down, for example.
Viable mid option. See what Foot decide to go for. They have a way of clearing out these bushes on the right side. Totally outmatches the Chester. Phenomenal anti-tank, by the way, so already preemptively accounting for anything as that 6th selection. Lily now making an appearance for Foot. I think this is exactly what you need to do, because Naja just doesn't have the defensive capabilities to deal with. Yes, she has spawnables, but it takes kind of a while to deploy them in close range. So I guess she'll have to not play mid. Maybe they'll have to set a Chester over at mid so that they're safeguarded against the Lily.
I mean, that really loosens up the side lanes a lot. Yeah, well, second, we have both Nita and Lily picked up here. Hinted at least, you know, Lily being a go-to just to be able to pressure that gem carrier, but now you've got something that could answer a potential tank pickup. Especially, she's pretty oppressive when you play right side of the map with her. If you're able to play Bruce, you can basically get into your weak side for free, tank up a lot of that damage, and be a real problem. And we've not even talked about the Crow here. So good at scouting out those bushes. I like the Sandy here, but there are a lot of compromising matchups, and you know, you need to be able to hit this stun on the Lily, otherwise she's going to tear through your team.
I don't really get it. I think, yeah, you can stun a Lily, and what? Cool. You got your gadget, you got visibility in the bushes. Guess what? It takes you 5 shots to get there. Where are you going to get them? You going to get them off Lily? Pressuring you? Is Lily going to offer you those opportunities? She can just sit behind a wall and wait for you to try and peek pinch with teammates. I think it's entirely viable. We'll see how well that Sandy fares.
In fairness, it does outrange most of Foot's comp, just in terms of how their brawlers work. But yeah, not great, Sandy at range. Here we go. Nope, we're going to be a nuisance. Start to reveal players inside those bushes, and angelboy's already going deep. It's all about going after Tok here, who has that stun gadget at the ready, and angelboy respects it. Funny bit of damage, but now these pesky snakes are going to emerge from eliminated brawlers.
Foot Esports getting pressured into their own bushes. Tok in a super forward position, does manage to get his first super kicked off, and it's so much visibility inside of Foot's bushes. Toxic Lotus now just commencing the assault. Engine's going to pick up the first kill as a response to this Lily aggression.
Okay, so the Sandy super gets online pretty early. I do like that. It kind of allows Toxic Lotus to start to snowball a bit of a lead. angelboy, all he needs though is one connection, one good way in on the enemy gem carrier, and it's over. Sandy's out of the picture now. Engine's taking a little bit too much damage. I don't like this at all. And there goes the Chester. 3 gems dropped. OU, though, would in theory be the designated gem carrier, but look at how much map control Bruce the Bear gives Foot Esports. They are at 9 gems ready.
They're all pressured out of their bushes, and angelboy's ready with the hypercharge. They go for it. He manages to steal away this gem. It's what Foot Esports needed to begin the countdown, but none of them can afford to die. 10 seconds to go, no utility for Toxic Lotus. All battered, beaten, bruised. Tok gonna look for someone with this gadget. Can't find Lana, can't find angelboy. As he pops out, OU into the gadget. It's nothing for him to do in close range.
There's just no pressure from this Toxic Lotus composition. You see the utility is quite helpful. They do get good map control off that first Sandy super, but none of the stuns are really impactful. And okay, you stop the Lily once, twice, okay, fine. As soon as angelboy walks back in with a hypercharge, the gem carrier is under extreme pressure.
Well, Lily's used to this. The entire game for Lily is, I'm going to push in and I'm going to die, and I'm going to die, and I'm going to die, and then I'll have my hypercharge and then I win you the game. Because you can't dodge it. You can't, unless you seriously screw it up. Look, angelboy already has a super, and all you have to do is run in a straight line on the right side into the Sandy that has only a single stun that's going to be negated the moment that he deals damage to that enemy. I just don't really get it, but Toxic Lotus seemed to believe in it. We'll see if Tok has fed his super quite early on. Lana looking for the wall peek. Tok probably just one shot off the super. Gonna use it on the next pitch, but despite the best efforts of Toxic Lotus, despite them taking 2 brawlers that are supposed to fare well into tanks, they're being walked all over.
Now, Naja, look, annoying, but slow projectile speed and can only fire 1 at a time. So overall, her DPS is not great. It's how she operates as a control brawler that can become oppressive. But OU hasn't really been able to do that. We haven't really seen that aspect of a kid. Oh, Engine gets caught out. Well, there's only 1 gem on Toxic Lotus, so it could be worse, but this will get Foot to a countdown for the series.
Angel Boy thought about going for the last one, but Lana picks it up instead on those 2 brawlers, retreating all the way towards the back. They have enough gems to keep this going, but it's a 2 versus 3 inside of the Rude Sands. They can't heal any HP. Lana opts to drop these where Angel Boy's about to respawn. Angel Boy's considering getting all the rest and then disappearing. No, vanish! Lana now picks them all up once again. Nob sharing 1 gem. How long can Toxic Lotus persist? They've got 10 seconds to act.
Yeah, at best they go 1 for 1 here in many of these situations. Here's Tuff for the hypercharged super. Nob stunned up, jumps out, still on the Rude Sands, and he escapes with a sliver of health. That'll do it, folks. Toxic Lotus wilt under the pressure of Foot Esports. It's been a bit of a stressful week for them, and they've had to make substitutes, but they certainly looked a better team in this series. And now Angel Boy gets to run roughshod over them. Yes, a brief countdown interruption, but the result is the same. Deterministically, EMEA will send another team into day 3.
Foot Esports now on equal footing with Tribe, the team that they lost to just 1 match ago. Now it's on to Toxic Lotus. If they can repeat last year's action, we could be seizing our final opportunity to have a fully tied round-robin stage.
Yeah, it's the only way that Foot get kept out of day 3's play. Toxic Lotus, unfortunately, don't get to show us much in this series. Last year, what had worked for them was a bit of innovation, the surprise factor, maybe being underestimated. This time, teams are ready for them. Foot Esports certainly knew it was do or die to take this game. Let's head down to the stage with Barney and the victorious Foot Esports.